Hello and welcome everybody. I'm Natasha Harris and welcome to this week's Akashic Soul Wisdom Show, where I'm really super excited to be speaking to the beautiful Samantha Briatico. We have got a juicy topic, one very, very close to my heart, talking about awakening the divine feminine within business, something that I truly do work with in my own business and really teach my clients around as well. So we're going to have a really great conversation about this. So if you are struggling a little bit with anything around bringing in the divine feminine, this is the show for you. So if you don't know me, I'm Natasha Harris. I'm here every Wednesday at 4 p.m. UK time. I work with the Akashic Records and work with conscious business owners to support them in really up-leveling to the next level of leadership and impact for a better world for all of us. So welcome, Samantha.
Thank you, Natasha. I'm really happy to be here and to share on your show. You're doing such amazing things, and so I'm very honored to be here.
Yeah, it's a great pleasure to be chatting to you live. We've spoken lots behind the scenes on emails and done things together and done a little bit of collab work together, which we'll talk a little bit more about later. But yeah, it's been great, and it's so lovely to finally meet and talk to you all the way in Australia, in Perth, and the beautiful West Coast. But yeah, tell us a little bit about you and what you do, Samantha, and what your business is all about.
So I'm the founder of Birthing a New Earth. This is a collective of amazing souls from around the world, which is Natasha is one of them. We also run beautiful gatherings twice a year. So our thing with Birthing a New Earth is about awakening the divine feminine in birth, business, and spirituality. So I feel that this topic is birth, which is also including like pregnancy, parenting, motherhood, education, and all these areas. By awakening the divine feminine, I think we can really make huge changes in our society, in our culture, and across the world. And so this is what our focus is. And we have the live summits that come up twice a year, because I really feel it's not just like a one-off thing. I feel we're in a very pivotal time on our planet. So keeping this momentum and sharing, our vision. So all the people in the collective, I feel we have a common vision to really create a better world that we know within our heart. And I think there's such power in coming together, which we'll talk about later when we talk more about awakening the divine feminine in business.
Yeah, my goodness. I just got goosebumps as you were talking, just like the need and the desire from so many people all around the world to really, bring this together now. It's like it's birthing it, but it's also bringing it into reality, isn't it? And it's like, how we do this. And I love what you said. It's not just about, business. It's about pregnancy. It's about how we do everything in our lives. This isn't just something we do in one cornerstone of our life and we perfect it. This is how it threads through every single thing we do and how we show up, right?
Totally. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm just really curious, and I'm sure our listeners are really curious as to know how you got to creating and, the Birthing the New Earth and the collective. How did you get to that point? Tell us a little bit about your backstory and how you got to creating this for everybody.
So my backstory is that I'm a doula. I'm a yoga teacher, meditation teacher, and a mentor healer. And so last year when we were in lockdown, I kind of went through a really big hermit healing process in 2020. And so I really didn't do anything for like 3 months, but work on myself and go through this journey. And as I emerged, Anara, I mentor with Anara Griffin, and we had a call, and she was like, I have something for you. I was like, oh gosh, I don't know if I'm not ready for anything. I'm just emerging from a cocoon. And she's like, there's something that you need to do around these topics. I'm not sure what it is, but it's come through. She's kind of like channeled it for me. And at first I thought, no, that's not for me. I'm just slowly coming out. And then when I sat with it, then it was just like ding, 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 ding. Like all these ideas started dropping in. And it really came through that it was going to be these gatherings, festivals, summits, whatever you want to call it, online. And it's going to be threading these topics together. And then I had some pretty big visions of where I see things going, but we're, in the beginning steps of the journey. So it's kind of like, I'm sure many of you know that sometimes you get this idea and you have this big vision and you're like, oh my gosh, how am I going to get there? Can I really do that? But you have to kind of take that leap of faith and just start to take those steps. And you don't really know how things are unfold. You don't really know how it works, but it's just like this universe nudge saying, this is what you need to be doing right now.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to my graphic designer to get the logo made. And he was like, so what is this about? And I was like, I didn't really know what to say at first. I was like, well, I'm doing this thing and I want it's going to be like this. And he's like, how are you going to bring that all together? And I was like, I don't know. But it did. It's come together. Sometimes, and, for all those out there that are kind of, worried about making those first steps or kind of stepping up into your power, into your purpose. Sometimes we have to just take those little nudges and steps into the unknown and just let it unfold.
Oh my goodness, and again, as you're talking, I have just such goosebumps around the whole topic and the whole theme of it, and how you're bringing people together from all over the world. I might add, this is really global, and how you've been doing it, and how. Yes, there's such, I reiterate what you say is like, for anyone listening who's not sure, has an idea, doesn't know what to do, take the first steps. I mean, it is having that faith, having that trust, those little nudges from the universe, from source, from the divine wisdom. Sometimes they push pretty hard and it's like you don't have a choice, but sometimes it can be a bit easy to ignore them, right? And it's like we have to take courage. Have courage to listen to it and have that faith to step forward.
Yeah, really, it takes a lot of strength and courage, I think, to make these steps. There's been, and especially doing projects like this where I'm reaching out to many people. There's like many times I'm like, I don't know, what am I doing? I have to go. I don't want to turn around, and then I get this like, energy behind me. He's like, nope, you gotta keep going. And I think like one of the things that's helped me the most is like really just taking myself out of the picture. Like, it's not about me. It's about the calling, the purpose, what this is doing, what my vision is for the future and what I see happening. And this is what keeps me going and then when I get a little, insecure or doubtful of myself, then I just kind of come back to that vision.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's like, that's such a huge part of that, isn't it? Because especially when we're in the early days, I remember this, it was all about me. It was like, oh, I can't get this to work. How am I going to do this? And it's like how we have to step out of that. And I really do think that, this comes from getting a mentor, having some support, having some help, doesn't it? And how we can really, step out of our own way. Stop thinking it is all about us. And
really not. We're the vessels that are, that's what I feel like. I feel like I'm a vessel that's bringing this idea. It's coming to me and through me, but not of me. I guess it's not me doing it. It's just, I'm the vessel for it.
Yeah. And I think that's how we also, talking about awakening the divine feminine, I think that's how we also connect with the divine feminine, isn't it? When we step out of the way, we let ego settle down a little bit. We go, there, it's okay. We've got this. We got it sorted. Let's allow the divine feminine in and so to support us in getting this out to the world.
Absolutely. I think this just is a different approach to how we do things, where we're coming from the head to the heart and leading from the heart and leading from our intuition and knowing, instead of trying to like use the head to kind of force things through, or that more I and that individualistic way of looking at things. Yeah. So I think it's really coming down into the heart and leading from there and trusting.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's what I just love about the, what you've created is about this whole connection, this collaboration, this collective of people coming together because, as you've called your next summit and your next gathering, it is all about rising. It's as we rise together. And that's how we create, a movement of shift and change from the old paradigm into the new. So, yeah, very powerful stuff. So I know you've got, and we're going to talk about the event afterwards at the end. So do hang around for that if you want to know what's bubbling to the surface at the end of September. But yeah, you've got some tips and tools. Like, so if you're just starting, or you've got these ideas and you're not really sure how to go about them, or I guess if you have started, but you're too much in your head, you feel it's just all a little bit of a weight that you're bearing, you don't know how to get this out into the world, then these tips that Samantha's got are going to really help and support you. So, yeah.
Well, I think one thing is really, it's getting support. I feel like this is so important. There was like so many women that I've, spoken to over the past year since the first one, connecting with so many women. And I realized that especially, if you've been doing business for a while, you become the jack of all trades. You're doing the website, you're doing your Instagram, you're doing everything, you're, sending your newsletters. It's just, this is where a lot of that weight comes, or this feeling that I can't do it all. I can't, this is too much, and then you become, I think for women, especially women, when we operate in the masculine or patriarchy and doing it all and not working with our cyclical nature, then we end up burnt out. And especially, even conscious entrepreneurs, we then also carry the weight of our cause on our shoulders. And so then it's, tapping into our cyclical nature, really tapping into our cycles, our monthly cycles, when to do that, but really getting support, letting control. I think for me, it was like letting go of control, that it has to be all me doing everything and micromanaging, get people to a VA, there is cheap ways to do this, a VA, someone to help you with your website, like you said earlier, like getting a mentor to help you. Because, especially, I don't think you can ever stop having a mentor, because you're always, what I've noticed from doing the gathering is like at each time I've done one, so this will be the third gathering, I hit like a like a self-imposed boundary. And then it's like, I'm always working to grow myself and to grow my business. I think a lot of times the growth you see in business is also like an inner reflection as well, the growth that you go through. And so I think this is, again, just really taking the, how you can expand in, like, your inner world can expand and your business can expand, kind of coincides.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree with that. And, I can't, having mentors in some capacity, one way or another, we need it just to bounce ideas off. And as you say, if we are doing this mostly alone, how can we be subjective? How can we see what our limitations are, how we're getting in our own way and how we're stopping ourselves? And, I often sort of, like, a mentor or my coach will reflect something back to me and I'll be like, oh, really? I'm doing that? Holy shit, I'm really, oh God, I am really doing that. That's quite incredible. And so it's like you have to like take stock and like be able to laugh at yourself. I'm going, oh my goodness gracious me, like how could I not see that? And we can't see those things that are so close to our nose. So, and getting that support, having and surrounding yourself with people that get it. Like you and I are doing very different new earth stuff. And when people don't get it and they're like, oh, you're just a bit weird or you're just a bit woo, and like, why are you bothering? It's really exhausting, isn't it? So surrounding yourself, not just with mental, I guess that tribe of people, that collective people that get it. There's lots of us out there.
I think that's really important, because I think when I think about divine feminine in business, it's not about this individualistic hierarchical way of doing things anymore. It really is about a network, collective, collaboration. This is the feminine. And this is where we need to be coming back into, you know, our tribes, our, you know, groups, our networks. I know you have one, I have one. And then this is where people, you can share ideas, you can support each other, lift each other up, you know, and then this is then again, it comes into this co-creation, you know, even though we're doing different things, then we can kind of, you know, we all have our strengths that we can bring into the table. We all have our individual like frequency. And I think that's really important to coming together into groups with like-minded people, because this is going to give you fuel, you know, it's going to uplift you, you know, you're not, again, you know, you're not just, it's like doing this crazy, having this crazy idea in your office at home. And like, I don't know what I'm doing, you know, just getting that feedback.
Yeah, absolutely. And we may not know always what we're doing. That goes for every one of us, no matter what stage we're at in business, even those that we can look at and go, they're uber successful. But what I love about being part of a network, and being part and having those people around me that are doing things that are incredible, creating ripples out in the world, that when somebody does something that inspires me and I think, wow, look at what they're doing and what's possible, like every single one of us has that potentiality within us. So it's to be inspired by those people that are a few steps ahead of us, that are doing things that we feel like oh, I don't know how to do it, to be inspired by those and allow ourselves to be carried by their waves, rather than thinking, well, we have to catch up with them, we've got to do it their way. It's like, just ride the wave and go, wow, look at what's possible, and to keep moving with them. And as I've shifted myself that perspective around how I see people who are ahead of me, it's really given me the energy and the motivation and the desire to do that for myself and in my own business.
Yes, I love how you said that, because it's so true. Because I think another thing that we can see in patriarchy, or you know, is comparison and also competition. These are really two big things that I think, you know, have I don't know, plagued us, or you know, really can hold us back, is comparing that. Oh my gosh, look where they're at. You know, I've done it, like, you know, when I'm like meeting, when I first started, I was like, oh my gosh, there's all these amazing people in the world, and I'm going to invite them in, and like, who am I? Or like this imposter syndrome that many of us go through. But it is this inspiration. This is a reflection of where we can be. And then it's not, and then also, I think something so big, and then this is what maybe lead into our next tip, is this competition or this lack or scarcity that for many of us, that we, you know, we can't come together into a collective, because what if, you know, this person's taking clients from me and this person will take clients from me. And I'm like, that's a lack mentality, that's scarcity. There's enough for everyone. And, you know, that competition, I think, is still is very prevalent.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think, sadly, in some ways, more so amongst women, that we do feel we can't encourage each other. We've got to pit off against each other. Hi, I can see someone's just commented, this is such an important topic. It is so important. Like, it really, truly is. And like how we, and again, this comes back to your next event about rising and allowing each other, as I rise, you rise, as you rise, I rise, and coming together to do this together. And there is no lack. We all talk, if we're in this kind of spiritual space as well, this is what really kind of it frustrates me a little bit, and I don't know about you, Samantha, but so we talk about, oh, the universe is so abundant, we're being spiritual and there's so much abundance, yet when we're working with others, we really do step into that competition, lack of like, there's not enough to go around. And there really is, that's so not true. If the universe is abundant, it doesn't leave you out.
And I think that, you know, that this is, again, like one of my tips is like, we really have to check in if there's any layers or programs that are still running the show, because we've been programmed into this, I don't know, I guess I say toxic patriarchy, or this individualistic hierarchical, I guess that's how And, you know, even if we've done work on ourselves, you know, there could still be those programs running, and we really need to always continue to do the inner work and healing so that we can see if there's anything that's blocking us, see if we're still running those scarcity programs. And then this is how we can kind of move through it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we all carry things with us. And, you know, I think we were talking about this a little bit before we came on live, but it's like this delayering of all these things that are getting in our way, and like what barriers are we putting up in front of us? And we all have them. I think it's a lifelong's work. And I think if we I think I remember, you know, thinking, I've got to get it. I've got to get rid of all my limiting beliefs. And as my journey's gone, I'm like recognizing, I'm never getting to the end of that one, maybe close to it in the end of this lifetime, but I hopefully still got many decades more to go. So there's quite a lot more delayering and looking at those things. Time, right?
Yeah, and it is a forever journey, and that's, you know, we're on Earth School, we're learning and growing and expanding always, and it's a never-ending journey. So I think that's also like, you know, just to be, again, like, so we put a lot of pressure on ourselves, you know, especially in, I think, conscious community. I mean, anyone can be putting pressure on themselves, but, you know, that we should have it all together, or know exactly what we're doing, or that we, you know, we're coming up these blocks and like, oh my God, why did I do that? Oh my gosh, you know. But no, that's just part of the journey. And so then helping ride those waves, you know, you just do it with a little bit more lightness, you know, and not so, you know, hard on ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think there's something really valuable in that, isn't there? It's like I loved what you said about the Earth School. We're just learning. And I think when we show ourselves as we haven't got it sorted, I think that's so important for me as part of being an intuitive business coach, that I really do demonstrate that I haven't got it sorted, that I haven't got it all sussed out, that I'm still learning, I'm still growing, I'm still making clangers of mistakes along the way, but I'm learning as I go, and that something will come up that will really impact me, and I learn, and I choose to navigate my way around that. It's not always easy, and I think, you know, especially coming together in your collective and through this this beautiful event that you're putting on at the end of September, is about seeing how different people are navigating different things from different perspectives in different life areas, and how we can be vulnerable and open and share that, so that we don't allow people, again, this hierarchy thing of like going, well, look at me on IFAB, I've got it sorted, you need to come here and learn everything from me. So you put me on a pedestal, and we continue to play out that hierarchy. I heard something really beautiful the other day. It's not about releasing that hierarchy, and it was something around, we stand shoulder to shoulder and walk together.
Yes.
And I was like, that's really beautiful. I've not heard anyone put it quite like that before. And I loved that. It's like, stand shoulder to shoulder and let's walk together.
Yeah, I always bring in the quote from Ram Dass. It's like, we're all just walking each other home, you know, and then it's, you know, and it's like there's leaders or way showers, and, you know, we just maybe we've learned something that you can potentially learn. Like, we learned it first so we can open a gateway for other people. It's not that we're this or that, you know, and then it's like you said, everyone has their little piece of the puzzle that they're here to help and to share. We all have our own individual you know, purpose, our callings, and everyone's frequency, you know, their essence is so different. And, you know, I really like this quote I got from, not a quote, but I heard from a podcast, and, you know, because there's so much division and polarity, and it's not about division, it's about diversity. And then I feel like this is when we awaken the divine feminine, then we can embrace all of this, you know, like just, I always envision like this big earth mama, you know, big bellied, and just carrying all the beauty, all the diversity in it. And I feel like it's really important in the way forward.
Yeah, that's so powerful, Samantha. Just that little reframe around, it is diversity. We will always exist with polarity, and it's seeing all of that and being in the beauty of all diversity, and acceptance of all of that, that we really can create change. I really love that. There's nothing wrong with polarity, and nor is there anything wrong with diversity and difference, and how we each spark our own uniqueness within that. I really love that. Really
and I think that kind of comes into, like, I think about the theme of the gathering, rise, because it is rising above the noise and rising above the division and coming into that love and unity, that diversity and acceptance of all. Like, my truth is my truth, your truth is your truth. They're going to be different, you know, and I think this is such a powerful message to be sharing and to becoming. Then again, it's like coming together and sharing that and bringing those energies together and rising together. So it's like, I'll talk more about that later.
Let's talk about that in a moment. But I love that as well, the rise above the noise, because oh my God, there's so much noise. There's so much noise, and it's like, it's deafening, and we forget to tap into our divine feminine and create that and open that channel to the divine feminine, to listen to the quieter essence of who we are, nudging us, encouraging us, directing us, being kind to us. And sometimes we just can't hear that through all the noise that goes on around us. So I think that that's a really important element, to try and quieten that noise down. Stand with people who are you know, talking the same language of you, not to ignore what others are saying, because of course there's, you know, that whole diversity piece, but acceptance of everyone having a different opinion. But there's something about quieting the noise from our experience, which is so powerful as well, isn't it?
So powerful. And I think, like, I was just going to go into this, we really need to trust in ourselves and have faith in the divine mother, the universe, whatever. But I think, like you said, I think we've learned, we all have the capacity, that inner intuition, that inner knowing, that sixth sense. It's a part of us, of who we are. But I think we've kind of lost that, ability to tap into that, because we've kind of shut it down over the years. I think, you know, we could probably have a whole nother conversation about why and how that's happened. So I won't really go into that, but I think we have really tuned that out and given our power to things outside us. You know, we're listening to the news, we went to school, our parents, whatever, we gave a lot to the validity of things outside ourselves. And so now it's really coming back and, you know, like you said, getting in touch to that essence, that frequency of who we are. And then from here is where we can have our, you know, that trust in ourselves, that faith that things are going to be okay, that knowing where to move and when to do. And I think that's coming into, you know, again, that divine feminine, that essence of the divine feminine is having that complete faith and trust, and letting go of that control and rising above the noise.
Yeah, absolutely. Because for me, I feel, and as you were talking there, what was really coming through for me was like, as we can only build our trust when we learn to listen, and we have to then quieten that noise down in order to listen to the quieter intuition, the inner voice, the divine source wisdom, you know, all of that. We're all part of everything. We hold it within us, but it's all around us. And it's only as we listen that we can really build that trust within ourselves, that actually there is another way to do this, without all the push, all the hard work, all the action. It's in the softer, kinder, gentler elements of it.
Yeah, it feels good. Like my shoulders just dropped down, because I really do. I do feel that it doesn't have to be so hard. It doesn't have to be so hard. We can really be more in that flow and that surrender and move from there.
Yeah,
that's how we're meant to be. In the laws of nature, cyclical ways of doing things, not always doing, going.
Yeah,
and
yeah, it's so important. And so as we thread all of these things, you know, don't go it alone. Get support, create your network. You know, I loved some of the things, you know, let go of some of these layers of programming that we have, collaborate, come together. You know, there is no lag. I just love the way that we can really find our own uniqueness within it. And trusting ourselves that there's no right and wrong way to do it, just be us. And I guess that's the journey that you're on, Samantha. I know I'm certainly on that. Sometimes it's really continuous, but it's definitely.
And really celebrate your uniqueness and celebrate who you are. I feel like that's really important.
Yeah, absolutely. So if this really talks to you, if this really kind of resonates with you, then I really do recommend you come and join the gathering that Samantha is putting on. Just tell us a little bit about that as well. Just the first of the important things, like sign up, dates, and then we can talk a little bit about what it's all about and who's going to be involved.
It's our third gathering. It is happening starting on the September equinox, so 3 weeks from today. It starts on September 22nd. It is running for 6 days from the 22nd to the 27th. We have over 45 speakers from around the world sharing on a various range of topics, from sexuality, pregnancy, birth, business, entrepreneurship, spirituality, healing. It's parenting, motherhood. It's very diverse. There's something for everyone. Something for everyone. You don't have to be pregnant or mother. There is a little bit for everyone in there. And again, the theme is rise. And I think it's just really important. I feel this is going to be really potent and powerful one.
Yeah, I love that it's on the equinox as well, which is going to be really super powerful as we transition into, coming up to 2022 unbelievably as well. And so the event is free to join up and sign up, right?
Yes, free to join up. We do have an upgrade option where you can get the talks and some extra bonuses for 6 months, but the free to join, I want to get as many people to join and really, to share in this message and come together and just to really feel hopeful. Because I know you feel and you see what's happening in the world, it can feel very chaotic, it can feel very crazy, it can feel very heavy. And I think this is a strong message that there's many people that are here can see a better future, visioning this better future, and to share that with the world.
Yeah, and making steps to create that better world. I think, knowing some of the people that you've got speaking, I'm also speaking, which I'm super excited about, and talking about the Akashic Records and business. But just so many beautiful souls coming on to share their experience, their knowledge, their expertise around these different topics. So as you say, there's just something for everyone. So having been part of your previous gatherings as well, I know how super powerful they are, but also how generous they've been in what everybody's been offering within them. And if you just feel like you want to be part of something, you want to learn something, get a different angle, hear somebody else's perspective on things, there is something for everyone within it. So I do highly recommend it. So I just actually to say that the links are in the information, in the post, in the description of this interview, of this conversation, not an interview, conversation, chit chat. But if it isn't, it will be in the comments. We will come in and put all the links in the comments as well. So do go ahead and sign up and come and join us.
Join us.
It's been, it's going to be fabulous. Yeah. Is there anything else you want to say about some of the talks? What are you going to be doing in the gathering?
Well, I'm doing lots of interviewing.
Yes.
But I will be doing a talk called Rise and Activate Your Power and Purpose. I will also be doing like an intro that's going to be like setting intentions for the gathering, and then a closing as well. So I will be sharing. There is going to be some really amazing topics. How to shift the culture. I just did an interview, Rise in Your Birth Vision. There's going to be a couple womb healing, a mother circle. There's going to be understanding. This one woman's going to be talking about understanding your moon sign and how that can help you in your inner world healings to step up as a powerful woman. We're going to have an amazing, oh my gosh, I'm so excited about this. There is a woman who's sells Sacred Cacao, and she is a sponsor of ours, and she is going to be doing a live ceremony with, she lives in Cameroon, and she is going to be doing a ceremony with some people from there, and music and cacao ceremony. So that's going to be, so I'm really excited about that. And gosh, so much more. There's a, you know, and motherhood and feminine energetics in business. I mean, I could go on.
I mean, like if some of those things don't capture your attention, then I don't know what else might do, but it's going to be really epic. And I'm so excited to be part of it. This feels like such an important time on our earth, in our humanity, to be doing something different, to be rising together, to be standing alongside each other and supporting each other shoulder to shoulder, and just really allowing ourselves to realize that there is a new and different way that we can all be contributing. And I feel quite emotional in the thought of what we can actually do when we stand together. I really do, because it's the world is our oyster in that perspective, and we can really create a very different path for ourselves and for all humanity going forward. So I'm truly am honored and delighted to be part of it, and I really thank you so much for coming on and talking to me today about the awakening the divine feminine, and lots of little tips and tools and like little things to get you thinking in a different direction if you are struggling with things. Is there a parting something that you would like to say, or something else? How can people get in touch with you other than just, you know, coming and joining the community and the gathering at the end of September?
Oh, I do have 2 Instagram accounts. You can find me on Birthing a New Earth. I also have my personal Samantha Briatico. Just message me there. We've got lots of information there, and you can check out. And yeah, I think what I really want to say is that there is solutions. This is, you know, instead of, I really feel focusing on what's going wrong, instead let's put our attention on what we can do. And I just really feel hopeful, and I feel very excited about this gathering. And yeah, please join us. And thank you, Natasha, for all the beautiful things that you're sharing in the world, and your message and all that you create, because it is a, you know, we're all doing our piece. And I'm really grateful for this.
Yeah, definitely. And we just know that we're not alone in what we're trying to do. And it feels very, very connected, very collaborative. And I'm really super grateful for that. So yeah, if nothing else, like, come and sign up for the event, the gathering that Samantha's putting on, Birthing the New Earth, to rise together. Share it out, you know, come and join. Follow Samantha and Birthing the New Earth on Instagram, share it out with people, let other people know that, and other women know that, who you know would really truly benefit from this, and let's stand together. So thank you again, Samantha. It's been an absolute joy to chat to you today. I could chat for hours more, I'm sure.
I could keep going. I have so many things like flooding through into my head.
Exactly. But yeah, join us for more of those conversations in Birthing the New Earth and to Rise at the end of September. Please do post and comment and ask questions. If you've got questions about it, tag Samantha or I. We will come back and we will look at things. So we will answer them. So do let us know if you've got any questions or thoughts if you're watching the replays. Thank you, everybody, for watching. I will see you again next week for the show. Yeah. Thanks, Samantha. Bye, everyone.
Bye.